Combat. To engage in combat, simply move a worker into any tile except tribal villages with an opponent's worker or controlled tile. A battle ensues immediately if an opponent's worker is there, and the active player's worker can no longer move this turn. Worker versus worker combat always precedes tile control battle to claim the tile. Once a battle has started with workers or for control, the players must fight until someone is defeated. The attacker may decide to only fight workers and not take control. If no worker is present and you want to control the tile, then you must announce you are engaging in combat for control. If successful, the defender removes the control token back on the sundial if there's room, or remove it from the game, and the attacker takes a sundial token and places it on the newly claimed tile. Players may freely move through opponents' tiles as long as there are no workers there. A single tile may only be attacked once per round per player by one worker. Players may not move multiple workers into an opponent's tile with at least one worker present. If an attacker fights two workers on a tile, then he must do it in two battles, always 1 versus 1. Resolving a battle. The attacker, or active player, rolls 1 die with swords, more if he has warrior skill, and the defender rolls 1 die with shields, more with warrior. Both roll at the same time, blanks have no effect, and ties go to the defender. For the attacker to win, he must roll more swords than the defender rolls shields. The defender must send his worker or workers back to a controlled village to be used on their turn. For the defender to win, he must roll equal or more shields than the attacker rolls swords. Attacker must remove the worker from the map, and at the start of the next round, place the worker on a village. These workers are unusable for the rest of the round. If there is a draw, meaning both the attacker and the defender both roll blanks, the attacker must move his worker to any adjacent tile without any opponent's workers on there. If no tile is available, then choose the next closest tile available. Combat points. The winner always scores 1 point for defeating a worker, whether you are defending or attacking. You also score 1 point if you gain control of an opponent's tile, no matter how many tokens you defeat, meaning technology tiles have 2 tokens, but they still only score 1 point. For example, purple takes his action 1 move and decides to move a worker into white's controlled field with a green tribal leader and a worker. He also moves a worker into white's controlled lake with no workers. He decides to engage in combat with the green workers on the field first. He looks at his warrior skill on his player mat and notes he gets 2 extra combat dice for a total of 3. Green looks at his mat and notes he gets 1 extra combat die for a total of 2. They roll the combat and defense dice at the same time. Green rolls 1 shield and purple rolls 2 swords and successfully beats the tribal leader. Green must return his tribal leader to a controlled village or his tribal village. Purple now attacks Green's worker. Green rolls 2 shields, but purple rolls 3 swords and beats the worker. Green must send the worker back to a village. Green's workers can still be used on Green's turn. Purple scores 1 point for each battle and moves their score marker up 2 points. He now announces that he wants to take control of White's corn tile. White looks at her warrior skill and notes no extra combat dice are unlocked. White rolls 1 shield and purple rolls all blanks. Purple loses and must return his worker to his play area. White scores 1 point for winning. Purple now focuses on White's lake tile and rolls 2 swords. White only rolls 1 shield and loses. White removes the token and puts it on any sundial tip according to normal rules. Purple takes a sundial token off any tip and places on the lake. Purple scores 1 point for beating White. This ends the tutorial for combat. Thanks for watching.